Hello and welcome to episode 21 of Matt's Modded Let's Play. As you can remember last time, we encountered a rather strange set of messages before running smack bang into one hell of a creeper trap. And as you can remember, we've now upgraded our defences. As you can see the full suit here. Now, I've been looking into a few defence things, and we'll be looking at them slightly later on, just as a way of increasing our defences against anything that might possibly be coming. And but first we're going to get our arboretum and our logger and stuff sorted. So first off, we have to make what's known as humus, whatever. So if you take sand and you take apatite and you put it into a crafting grid like this, you get what's known as fertilizer. And as you can see here, we've got an absolute shit ton of fertilizer. More than I was hoping for. And as you can see here, if you combine dirt with fertilizer, you get humus. So you've got more than enough here. So let's just quickly go down and find a good place to store this crap. Yeah, that's a good place to store it all. Now we're going to need this amount of humus, I would have thought. Nice concentration of saplings, and then let us start getting our system set up and ready to go. So we're going to need our logger and our arboretum. I have a feeling we're going to need something else. I'm not quite sure what. Yes, we're going to need our I managed to make 4 more medium voltage solar arrays. Should be enough to power these, I'm hoping. We're also going to need some of our glass fibre cables. Oh, we're also going to need engines as well, aren't we? Okay, now you can use any Buildcraft compatible engine for your system. So let us make 2 more. So we need tin gears. So we need 4 tin gears. Gonna need, where are we? 2 glass and 6 tin. I believe, if I remember the recipe off the top of my head. Glass there and that. Here we go, electrical engines. So I'm going to need I'm going to need a couple of levers as well, and we shall leave the energy, we'll just do it direct for now. As you can see here, I've set up a nice little area here for our so we shall place our ender chest in the middle there. Anything that comes out of here will instantly go into connected inventory, so everything that we collect will go into here, which goes straight into our sorting system. As you can see here, we have our arboretum, and it puts out these 2 and it collects sand, because every time we plant a tree and then cut it down, the humus becomes sand. Alright, so let us place that there, place that there. We then have Right. We now need a lever there and a lever there. So let us turn this on. Hopefully once it's storing enough power, should hopefully see it. Aha, it is starting to produce now, as you can see, so we shall place that back there. And where's our lever? And as you can see, it's slowly starting to move, spread around it. As you can see, it's starting to use up the hummus. So we shall leave that for now because we have to make our next plan of attack. Alright. As you can see here, we have a rather large area to try and defend. So let's see, I'm trying to include my cats in this and I'm hoping I can. Right, so if we put our furthest boundary, say here, the little defense thing I'm going to be trying. So what? This is... So it's 102. To probably... Oh, nope. 2. Alright, so 383. So that's what, 17. So that's what, 77 blocks. Alright, so if we're going to be putting it in the middle of our house here. Alright. So now, let us go and have a look at what we're going to be making. Got all the recipes and everything laid out in our little back section here. Now we're also going to need, so I can remember, we're going to need some obsidian. I placed humus in there, didn't I? Also going to need some of them, some of that, some of that. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So first up, we're going to be making a new mod that I've not touched on yet on here. I've mucked around with it a few times on a very few things I've been trying to build and everything. But we are now going to be using what is known as the MFFS, so the Modular Force Field System. And it basically produces a force field around whatever it is you're trying to protect or do or whatever. Now you need two particular blocks. to create the force field, you need the force field power generator, and you need the modular projector. Now this is what generates the power and the actual force field, and now this is what actually projects the force field out. So to create this first one, we need, I saw the recipe already, electrolyzed water cells, which is what that little contraption next to the blast furnace was. It takes excess power and it produces electrolyzed water cells from normal water cells. So you put the water cells in there, and as the MFE or the MFSU gets full, it transfers the energy into the water cells. We also need 2 frequency transmitters, which we haven't got. But as you can see here, we've got the recipe here, and these are very simple. Copper cable on top with 2 electronic circuits below gets us the frequency transmitter. So if we put 2 of these in here, we get the force power generator. So if we were to place the force power generator down, and as you can see here, there's a very complicated interface. Now we'll deal with the interface when we're setting up our system. So then the next port of call is what's known as the MFS projector focus matrix. These are the building blocks of all the force field generation power, and they're also the building blocks for most of these particular items. So very important. As you can see, the recipe here is very cheap for 64 of them. It's a single diamond, 4 carbon plates and 4 glass. Gets us 64. So we'll get a couple of stacks of them because we are going to be needing a fair amount of them. As you can see here, we have our next recipe, which is the modular projector. As you can see here, we need 3 of the force focus matrices and 1 of the frequency transmitters. So we put the last frequency transmitter there, we throw in 3 of them, and we get the projector. As you can see, there's random dots and stuff on the side. We'll come on to what they're for later on. Now in order to generate the power, you put that the power directly into the generator, and then the generator projects it to the projector. However, in order to do that, we need what's known as a MFFS generator injector for EU. As you can see here, it's made with a bat box, a couple of copper cables, some more of the electrolyzed water cells, and some refined iron. And then we add that in, and it will allow us to generate the power between the two. The next one is what's known as these particular projectors. So you can have a tube, you can have a deflector, you can have a wall, you can have a cube, or you can have a sphere. Now I think for the best way to make it around ours, we're going to have a sphere which is going to make a dome above our base. Hopefully keep anything out that we don't want out, and well, yeah, keep anything out we don't want. So in order to make one of them, we need obsidian surrounded by a MFFS projector focus matrix, which gets us the sphere upgrade. I'll show you what these upgrades do once we are back upstairs and it's daytime. Now the next upgrade we're going to make for our force field is a projector field modulator. Now these increase how thick the walls of the force field are. By standard they are a single block thick, but with each progressive amounts of these you put in, so if you put in 1 of these you'll get a force field that is 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. We're only going to need 2, so I'll only making 1 of them, and as you can see it was made by 9 of these focus matrices in the crafting grid. Now the next one are the distance upgrade, which is the field modulator, as opposed to the field. Okay, these are field modulators. This is for distance, that's for strength. As you can see here, it's made around the outside. So this, with each one of these, it will come an extra distance away. Now unfortunately, we are going to need a significant amount of these. So in order to get enough of these, we're going to need, I think, even more. 29. We'll see how many that does for now as we get our system set up. Now in order to generate the force field, we need a constant redstone signal applied to both blocks. The first one is so that it will start collecting energy, and the second one is to actually activate the force field. Now the problem is, unless you want to make some of the more advanced blocks in which you create essentially security stations and you have to carry around the card with you and so you can get in and out of your system, you can create, where we go, as you can see here, I always find it best to place the filled thingy-mabobby right there. As you can see here, we're going to need a couple of leathers. We've got a spare here. Okay. Just let us. As you can see, nothing happens. So if we go into it, as you can see, we're not getting any force power or anything like that. Now the force power is how much power you have for the force field. This goes up as it powers up. You've also got upgrade slots, you've got a security slot, and you've also got this power slot. Now this generator injector goes into here. As you see, still nothing's happening. You turn it on and all these little red lights, and as you can see, it's now starting to generate force power by taking from the MFSU. Now the force power generator can take any amount of EUs. Well, I think it's up to 512 EU a tick. I'm not sure about ultra high voltage, whether it can take that. And see, we've also got link devices, none, and transmit range, which is 8. So as you can see right now, it will transmit its power up to 8 blocks away. So we shall not be placing this too far away. In fact, I think right there is probably going to be the best place for it. Now, as you can see here, there's a little red dot here that's not on this face, and it won't be on any other faces if I was to uncover it. This is to do with whether or not when you're making the wall or the deflector, you can push out various sides certain distances using these focus matrices. As you can see here, we've got a link card, which we'll need to make in a minute, and then a type mod. Now, the clever thing about this is, see the red band around here? That indicates that only an item with a red band around it can go in this slot. Same with the purple, same with the green. And then the grey ones at the bottom here, which is optional, are all these various ones like Mob Defender, Force Field Jammer, Field Manipulator, etc. Even a Projector Upgrade, which is a block breaker, which means it will completely isolate you out by mining any block that the field touches. So it will almost create like a... So it will basically mine out every block, which is not always very useful, I'll tell you. So now we need to make a link card in order to link this with this. And as you can see, this is already completely full with power, and it's not drained any of our MFSU. So now we need an MFFS card, which is made using paper and an electronic circuit. So let's get an electronic circuit made. Where are you? Electronic circuit. Now let's get some paper from our... Perfect. Alright, so we've got an electronic circuit. And we've got paper. So we've got 6 paper there. Perfect. Perfect amount of paper and our MFSS card. Now, so now you click on that particular one, and then as you can see there, it says Success Power Link Card Created. Click it into there, and now you can see we've got the force power of, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so what, 1,000, so 10 million. So it's got exactly the same kind of output as here, so 10 million, and you can upgrade these to hold even more power if you need it for more intense actions. So now, let us add our projector in, leave our field strength out, and let's put our field distance. So now if we put a lever here, and activate it, you can now see that around Oh, that's actually perfect. That is absolutely spot on perfect. As you can see, we now have a force field around our base. Now you see the problem is we can't get out now while the force field is activated. But then if the force field is activated while we're outside of it, we'd never get back in. So now we're going to have to create a little item that's created by the same person that creates the NEI interface, and it's called wireless redstone. Now wireless redstone, as you can see here, it's not draining too much of the power out. So we shall add our projector bit into there. As you can see, the force field is now dropped. So now we need to create a way of remotely activating or deactivating our circuit. So in order to do that, we're going to need to make two items, which is a wireless receiver, which is here, which can receive any wireless signal for the mod. And we need a couple of stone wires, a stone wafer, an obsidian stick, and a receiver dish. So in order to make the obsidian stick, you need 2 obsidian stacked on top of each other to make an obsidian stick. Let's have a look at the rest of the recipe. So we've got the obsidian stick. We now need to make the receiver dish. Now the receiver dish is 2 parts. A stone bowl, which is 3 stone as such, and then a wireless transceiver, which is a Rether pearl, and an obsidian stick. Now the Rether pearl is made from an ender pearl surrounded by redstone and glowstone. So let us make one of these now. Now this is thankfully a shapeless recipe with regards to the redstone and the glowstone. As you can see here, we've got the Rether pearl. Combine it with one of the sticks, we get a wireless transceiver. Now I know we're going to need a second one of these very soon, so I'll go ahead and make one now. Alright, so we've got 2 of them. Also going to need some smooth stone. So we're going to need at least 5. We're also going to need blank one of them, and I do believe we've got the rest. Currently sat in here, but nope. But we do have a toggle latch and some of that, which we're going to need in a little bit. Getting ahead of myself a little bit now. Then we also need... I'm also going to need some of the... so we don't have any of the redstone wafer stuff, so we're going to need to get 2 more of the wafers, just so we have all the ingredients we need. So let's get crafting. Okay, so we're going to need 2 of our stone wafers to be stone wires. So it's a stone wire, stone wire, stone wafer. Nope. Even got that wrong yet. We need to make the stone bowl first. So get the stone bowl, combine it with one of the wireless transceivers to get a dish. We also need to make that and make that. I know what I've missed out. Also need to make another obsidian stick in order to make a wireless receiver. Well, hey, finally got there. Now the next item we're going to need to make is a way of remotely activating our wireless receiver. Now in order to do that, there are 2 ways of doing it. One is a wireless transmitter, but that requires a fixed signal again. Or we have what's known as here, is a wireless remote. Now wireless remote is simply a button and a wireless transceiver. As you can see here, so I've got the stone here to make the button. So you put a button and a wireless transceiver, and we get the wireless remote. Now the wireless remote is a single click item, so it's very simple. However, if you shift click and right, you get what's known as you get the GUI up. So let's say we put the wireless remote to 1, as you can see here. See on the little bar at the bottom and on the side of the screen there, you get the activation signal. So if we put our wireless receiver down and set it to 1, and as you can see here, it's pulsing on and off. So that's perfect, in combination with another little item we've already made, in order for us to be able to activate and deactivate our circuit at will. So now we're going to have to just dig around underground just for a couple of minutes. Aha, perfect. Okay, so we need to put that there. So we're also going to need our redstone here. Okay, so now we're going to need to get our toggle latch, which is there. As you can see, it's now activated our force field and then deactivated our force field. So now we need to dig out one more block there. We add our wireless receiver, add the wireless receiver onto 1. So we'll make, and we can also name these for easier. Force field activate, and then hit set name. So now when it comes to selecting here, say like we're there, all you have to do is double click on there and it'll instantly bring that one up, and you can have as many as you want. So now we right click, bang, force field on, right click again, bang, force field off. So we now have a way of getting in and out of our force field while we're not at home. So it now means we don't have to worry while our force field is off, or while we're away from home, about our force field being off. And then we just cover up the floor. Put that back there. Cover it back up. And now no one is the wiser. As you can see, an absolutely perfect job. Now I've got another item to be carrying around with us, but that's all okay, because we now have a reliable means of keeping our house safe. And sound, well, at least I bloody hope so. Oh, I think I know what I've done. I think by me putting the block there... Oh, yep. I did. So it means now I'm going to have to go into here, grab my handsaw. No worries. Nice simple fix, and make a few covers so that when I come to producing force field now, you now have our instantly generated force field. Try and get in now, creepers. Try and get in now. And the good thing about this is it should go through the floor. Which means if I block this particular way off so they can't get up this way, they won't be able to get in, because goes all the way down and covers every way in or out. So you see, cats, we're perfectly safe now from all these creeper attacks. Of course, this does use a lot of power during the night. Sometimes it takes a little while just for the bits to go. As you can see, we are slowly producing. Now, these do take a little while to grow, but as you can see here, we have had some grow. And it also helps produce apples, especially if you use apple trees, oak trees, and various other bits. Let's just go down and see how much we are producing, because it should all be going into here. Yep. And then apples going into here. As you can see, we now have a readable tree and apple wood, tree, saplings and apple supply. All we need is to supply it with a little bit of dirt and saplings and stuff, and it's perfectly fine. Can I say it's a very good job? There we go. Now, for some reason, this it's not producing power during. It's not pulling the power out at night. So let me just quickly have a look and see what the problem is with that. Okay, so during the night it doesn't provide the power to the thing, which means next time it may be an idea to start looking at a way of increasing the generator for the force field. But at least now, with our brand spanking new armor, as you can see here, no more glitch for that, with our brand spanking new armor and our amazing force field system, we no longer have to fear if a creeper apocalypse comes, because we can now defend successfully our base. Combination with... Oh, Skelly got through. Now there are a few upgrades you can do to this to make it kill anything that comes in. Oh! Come on. Yeah, come in here. Come on. No. Bad kitties. Okay. This is a bad idea to try and show this on camera. Silly kitties. But as you can see, even in this world, we can use the portal gun. Try And we've got a cute little Siamese kitty as well. Oi! Thank you. Good kitties. Okay, now after that, I do believe now this is the time to end. Silly cats. Right. Let's see, we now have our nice defense system. Perfectly covers all of our important devices and everything like that. Now I'm not 100% sure if that's actually gapping it or not, but not that it matters. Our apiaries are perfectly covered. All of our machines are perfectly covered. Even our nether portal is perfectly covered, and our very special tree is just on the edge of it. So I do believe that's a success for our next generation of defense program against the creepers. So this is Matt signing off on episode 21, and I'll see you all next time.